as we conduct a seminar on International Women's Day, for the theme for which this year is Each for Equal. Our panelists for today are Ms. Mariam Shabir Abbasi, who's an environmentalist, and her work mainly focuses on gender mainstreaming into climate change policies through evidence-based research. Our second panelist for the day is Ms. Aisha Mughal. She is a transgender right expert at Ministry of Human Rights. Aisha has the honor of becoming Pakistan's first transgender lecturer. She is the first transgender woman to have represented a country at the United Nations Convention to end all forms of discrimination against women. And Ms. Rumina Khurshid Alam will be joining us shortly. She is member National Assembly and is a passionate activist who, without a political background, fought all odds and earned her way to where she stands today. She's also served as an honorary ambassador of Baitul Mal's Women Vocational Training Center. Ms. Zertaj Gul, Minister of State for Climate Change. Zertaj was a student activist and has contested on a general seat from a remote area as DG Khan. And Ms. Wendy Gilmer, who is the High Commissioner of Canada to Pakistan. She's worked on a number of important positions throughout her career, and she was posted to Zimbabwe, the United Kingdom, and Nigeria, and has also served in international peace operations in the Office of the High Representative to Bosnia and Herzegovina and the NATO Kosovo forces. As we know, March 8 is celebrated as the International Women's Day, and the theme of this year is Each for Equal. Now, I was going through some statistics, and I came across this index, which is Gender Social Norms Index, that measures how social beliefs obstruct gender equality in areas like politics, work, and education. It contains data from 75 countries covering over 80% of the world's population. Though over the past century, women in most countries were granted basic political, economic, and social rights, restrictions to vote, go to school, and work in different economic areas were lifted, with the principle of equality typically granted in constitutions. Still, according to this index, despite decades of progress closing the equality gap between men and women, approximately 90% of men and women hold some sort of bias against women, providing new clues to the invisible barriers women face in achieving equality. According to this index, about half of the world's men and women feel that men make better political leaders, and over 40% feel that men make better business executives. Now let's go back to the introductions. We have Ms. Aisha here. She's the first transgender woman to ever make a part of a government delegation to the United Nations. This is 2020. We are talking about a transgender woman who has made to the UN as a part of the government delegation for the first time in the history. Is that just? 49.2% of our population is women, yet Zertaj is among the very few women who have contested on a general seat and among even fewer women who have won. Is that fair?
Only 8 made it to.
And when we come to Mariam, I think we can safely say that she would have put a lot of extra years than any man or a boy would have put in being where she is today. Is that fair? And Wendy Shore comes from a more advanced society, but didn't the recent Me Too movement reveal that the problem is even more deep-rooted in all societies, including the developed societies, and the levels of trauma women had to go through due to workplace harassment? And these are the facts that I'm recounting about some of the successful women here, who were definitely more privileged in a number of ways. So imagine those who do not have the privileges. So I'm leaving you with this food for thought, and I would request Dr. Abid Saleri, who's the Executive Director, STPI, to open the debate.
Thank you very much, Aisha. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I wanted to join as one of among the audience, but they asked me to come here and give this introduction.
Our gender balance.
The introduction to panel she has already done, but I think it's extremely important to reassure our commitment. And the reason I'm saying it's extremely important because the recent controversy around Women's Day celebration, recent controversy around Women's March, and recent controversy about the whole idea of raising awareness. To me, it's frankly, I'm quite disappointed with all of this. I thought that society has matured enough that we can now talk beyond these things, and we can actually start working on the basics, and the basics which is each for equal, which for me is another manifestation of SDGs. No one would be left behind. So when we are talking of our commitment to sustainable development goals, when we say that no one will be left behind, that is another way of saying that each is equal, and of course women, they are equal. We have to take care and do whatever we can do in order to get them mainstreamed and to recognize their due contribution. So first thing that I want to say that today's event here, it is our solidarity with all those who would be celebrating Women's Day on 8th of March. It is our solidarity with all who would be actually marching on 8th of March. Of course, we strongly condemn any attempt or any move to tarnish that cause and that march. STPI has always been showing solidarity. Was one of those who has been advocating for social justice, who has been advocating for no one should be left behind. And like always, this is again, I think, time of the year that when we have to renew our commitment. It's not that our drive to work for women's rights, our drive to work for bringing equality and equity in the society is just confined to some international days. Of course, it's throughout the year, but today is a special day because we are renewing our commitment, and inshallah, we'll keep on contributing in whatever manner we can. Of course, sustainable development can never be achieved unless and until we take the 50% of our society along us, and not only to take, but to recognize their contributions, whether in formal sector, whether in the formal sector, whether in at the household levels. But without their contributions, I don't think that this society can prosper or this society can achieve sustainable development goals. So thank you very much, all the excellent ladies for joining us. And as I said, I'll be feel more enlightened sitting there and listening to all of you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Taking care of it.
Since Tajgul has to leave, so I'd call her first, and I'd want her to address that how being on a powerful position now, she sees the prospects for women to progress and claim more share in the decision-making process.
थैंक यू बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम या खनाबद व या कनस्ताइन या अल्लाह तेरी इबादत करते हैं और तुझसे मदद मांगते हैं. I wish that I would have talked in the end, and I would have listened word by word to all of the worthy panelists, especially I think her, because she has represented for the first time Pakistan from the transgender. I wish that I could have heard her earlier, but the thing is that I have to go and I have to attend some another meeting. But this is actually STPI, and whenever STPI calls me, Mariam call me, I'm always there because I find it a platform for a very positive and constructive debate. So media is here, and I know whatever we say is actually, when it's on media, it always have a meanings, and it gives it a full campaign. It's sort of built as a campaign when it goes on media. So it's actually the 8th March, International Women's Day. I always tell them it's good that we have one day specifically for women, and it's good that that is the day that we respect and we consider, and we especially dedicated it to the women. But the thing is, every day, in every moment, every minute, every second, start from your home and then coming here and then going back, You cannot cut off. So we are part of this society, we are part of this universe. So I think there should be every day, every time, when you breathe in this environment, you should remember, yes, there is another creature, a very beautiful creature called women. You should always respect them, you should never disgrace them, you should never deny their existence. बिकॉज अम्मा आदम तो पसली से पैदा हुई थी, हज़रत आदम के, तो फिर आप पसली को अपने आप से अलग कैसे कर सकते हैं? सो मैं समझती हूँ कि वी आर देयर, एंड आई टोटली एग्री विद डॉक्टर आबिद साहब. आई डोंट नो व्हाई वी हैव गॉन इनटू दिस डिबेट, this march or that march. Everybody has a right to do the march, to express their views, and it's a women day. Women day का मतलब ये है कि all of the women from each society, especially हमारे घरों में जो माएँ बहनें बेटियाँ बैठी हुई हैं, who is a protection of चादर and चार दीवारी, and women empowerment, मैं तो ये समझती हूँ कि women empowerment is just a cliche अगर वो economically sound नहीं है. लेकिन फिर भी वो ख़वातीन जो घरों में रहती हैं और उनको कहता है कि आपने काम नहीं करना है, आपने घर का काम करना है, I think it's a huge responsibility. My mother making a breakfast for me and then my lunch box and और मेरे यूनिफॉर्म को इस्त्री करना and sending me a school is a huge responsibility, and I owe it to her, to my father, and then to my teachers. तो मैं समझती हूँ कि घर में जो औरत काम करती है मेरे लिए वो उतनी ही अहम है, उसका रोल मेरे लिए उतना इम्पॉर्टेंट है. तो हमें जब वीमेन डे की सेलिब्रेशंस करनी है तो हमने उन ख़वातीन को नहीं भूलना है जो घरों के अंदर हमारे लिए रोल अदा करती हैं, और फिर वो ख़वातीन स्पेशली जो हमारे घरों में काम करती हैं, जो हमारे घरों में फ़र्श साफ़ करती हैं, वॉशरूम साफ़ करती हैं, हमारे बर्तन धोती हैं, उनको भी हमने नहीं भूलना. क्योंकि मैंने बहुत सारी जगहों पर ऐसा एटीट्यूड देखा है जो वो अपने बच्चों को लेकर आती हैं. मी, आई वॉज द फर्स्ट वन इन द पार्लियामेंट. इवन व्हेन आई मेट ऑल ऑफ द एंकर्स, आई सेड टू देम, एज नाउ यंग parliamentarians are emerging and we are coming to the parliament, and I have a 4 years old daughter, sometime I want that she should accompany me. So मुझे उसके लिए एक अच्छी जगह चाहिए पार्लियामेंट में, where she can be taken care of. अगर 5 to 6 hours पार्लियामेंट का सेशन चले, I like to see her. सो जब वो हमारे घरों में जो ख़वातीन काम करती हैं, जब वो अपना बच्चा अपने साथ लेकर आती है, लोग उसके साथ अच्छा सलूक नहीं करते कि तुमने क्या काम करना है जो तुम अपना बच्चा लेकर अपने साथ लेकर आ गई हो. सो हमें उनका भी हमें ख्याल करना चाहिए. फॉर मी, मैं समझती हूँ कि आर ओरिजिन, और मैं आई एम नॉट एनी रिलीजियस स्कॉलर, लेकिन अगर सूरह निसा को पूरा पढ़ लिया जाए, सारे हकूक़ की बात करते हैं तो फिर विरासत के हकूक़ की क्यों नहीं बात करते. आई नो मैनी ऑफ द फैमिलीज़, अच्छी भली फैमिलीज़, जो अपनी ख़वातीन को कोई विरासत में हिस्सा नहीं देती हैं, कहती माफ़ कर दो. वाई नॉट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दोज़ विमेन जिनके कुरान से शादियाँ कर दी जाती हैं? क्यों नहीं हम उन ख़वातीन के बारे में बात करते हैं जिनको कागज़ों के अंदर मुर्दा करार दिया जाता है, कि वो डेथ सर्टिफिकेट भी दे देते हैं ज़िंदा खातून का कि जी ताकि इसको विरासत में हमें हिस्सा ना देना पड़े? क्यों नहीं हम उस बेटियों के बारे में बात करते हैं जब हमें पता है जब अपनी मर्ज़ी से शादी कर लेती हैं, तुमने तो अपनी मर्ज़ी से शादी कर ली, अब तुम अपनी मर्ज़ी की तुम जिम्मेवार हो. अ गर्ल, अ ब्लॉगर हु वाज वेरी एजुकेटेड, और जब उसने ख़ुदकुशी कर ली कि क्योंकि मेरे फादर ने मुझे कहा था कि तुम्हारा जनाजा उठेगा, तो फिर हम क्यों नहीं उनको वो प्रोटेक्शन देते हैं? आफ्टर इवन मैरिज मैं समझती हूँ कि वो उतनी ही आप उसके पेरेंट्स उसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. इवन आवर पेरेंट्स, जब आप अपने घर में बेटी को प्रिंसेस नहीं रखते हैं, व्हेन यू मेक हर कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ कि तुम अच्छे कॉलेज में ना पढ़ो, तुम्हारे भाई की हम फ़ीस दे देंगे, या फिर ये कि तुम ये खाना जो है तुम्हारे भाई के लिए हमने रखा हुआ है, भाई थका हुआ रहेगा, तो तुम उसने अच्छा तुम खाना ना खाओ, पहले उसका वेट कर लो. सो व्हेन यू डू नॉट ट्रीट योर डॉटर एज अ प्रिंसेस, हाउ डू यू एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम द सोसाइटी एंड फ्रॉम द अनदर हाउस टू ट्रीट देम एज अ प्रिंसेस? अपने घर से उसकी रिस्पेक्ट शुरू करें, अपने घर से उसको हिस्सा दें, अपने घर से उसको रिस्पेक्ट दें. देन आई एम श्योर यू विल बी एबल टू मेक अकाउंटेबल अनदर मैन टू. उसके लिए कितनी ख़वातीन अभी भी हैं जो सिर्फ इसलिए उनको, एंड अगेन माई रियल टॉपिक आई वॉन्ट टू टॉक टू हाईलाइट एक्चुअली इज, आई वॉन्ट टू टॉक अबाउट दी harassment problem. Women like us, educated women who work daily and who goes to any of their field and everywhere, वो जो उनको मेंटल टॉर्चर मिलता है, जो अपनी एग्जिस्टेंस शो करने लिए डे टू डे वो करती हैं, एज आयशा आई थिंक मेंशन, वो वर्ल्ड सर्वे में, people think that women cannot be a good executive or cannot be ahead of the government or of the country, कि वो शायद अच्छे डिसीजन नहीं कर सकती है. यही साबित करने के लिए एक खातून ने जब अपने आप को साबित करना होता है कि नहीं, मैं अच्छी डिसीजन मेकर हूँ और मैं अच्छा काम कर सकती हूँ, तो आपको जो वर्क प्लेस पे हरेसमेंट इज़ नॉट ओनली फिजिकल, हरेसमेंट मेंटल भी होती है. आपको स्पेस नहीं दी जाती है, आपको जगह नहीं दी जाती है, आपको उतना वेटेज नहीं दिया जाता है, आपको इतनी वैल्यू नहीं दी जाती है आपकी बात को. उस टॉर्चर के बारे में क्या ख्याल है? और फिर जो ख़वातीन कहना चाहती है कि मेरे साथ हरासमेंट है या मुझे टॉर्चर किया जाता है, पीपल विल टेक इट एज फिजिकल हरेसमेंट. वो मेंटल हरेसमेंट सिर्फ इसलिए बेचारी नहीं बता सकती कि उनके लोग उसको फिजिकल हरेसमेंट के अंदर ले लेंगे, बिकॉज इट्स अ टैबू नॉट टू टॉक अबाउट द फिजिकल हरेसमेंट. हम इस हरेसमेंट के बारे में बात नहीं करते. सो मी एज अ पॉलिटिशियन, आई थिंक isn't it a shame 5% of the women imposed by our election commission, 5% of the quota will go to the women. It means every fifth or sixth woman is actually awarded ticket in any political party. Only Dr. Nafisa Shah, Shazia Marie, Zubaida Jalal, me, and so only 8 or 10 women made it to the parliament. So we gave her a right, election commission gave her a right, political party gave her a right to award her a ticket. What was the environment or what was the people behavior not to vote for her? They thought she is a weak creature, they thought she will not be able to perform. या किसी मर्द को अगर हम अलग करके पार्लियामेंट में भेज देंगे तो वो हमारी ज़्यादा अच्छी आवाज़ उठा सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, व्हेन आई वाज कंटेस्टिंग इलेक्शन, माय अपोनेंट द फ्यूडल लॉर्ड्स वुड से कि तुम एक जनाने को जो वोट दोगे तो वो थाने में तुम्हारे लिए पुलिस के पास कैसे जाएगी? आई कैन कंटेस्ट इलेक्शन, तो क्या मैं पुलिस के पास नहीं जा सकती हूँ आपका मसला हल कराने के लिए? सो स्टिग्मेटाइज और या मुझे एक छोटे से उसके अंदर बॉक्स के अंदर बंद करने कि बिकॉज अ पर्सन हु इज़ अ मैन एज अ लीडर कैन परफॉर्म मोर एंड अ वुमेन एज अ लीडर कैन नॉट परफॉर्म, और आपने सिर्फ 10 खवातीन को हर 5वीं खातून के अंदर पार्लियामेंट में भेजा. वॉज इट फेयर फ्रॉम दिस सोसाइटी? खातून के पास पैसे नहीं होते इलेक्शन लड़ने के लिए, खातून की कोई हेल्प नहीं करता. अच्छा, फिर अपनी ही पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ में, all of the political parties, if they are good for slogans, if they are good for jalsaga, if they are good for the political activisms, जिस टाइम इलेक्शन में टिकट लेने की बारी आती है, आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट द रिजर्व सीट. दैट्स अ पॉजिटिव prejudice towards women to have 60 women in the parliament unelected. It's good. जिसने भी ये कोटा खवातीन को दिया है, टोटली अप्रिशिएटेड. अच्छी बात है कि किसी तरीके से खवातीन को रिप्रेजेंटेशन मिली है. लेकिन फिर जो खवातीन डायरेक्ट कंटेस्ट इलेक्शन करना चाहती है, अ पोलिटिकल पीपल ओनिंग योर ऑन पार्टी विल सेड, यार छोड़ो इसको जो है ना वो दे दो, रिजर्व सीट पे डाल दो, टिकट आपको नहीं देना चाहते हैं. और अगर टिकट भी आपको देंगे इज जस्ट बिकॉज इम्पोज्ड कोटा इज फ्रॉम द इलेक्शन कमीशन, वो आपको एक ऐसी टिकट देंगे जिसके हिसाब ज़बरदस्ती हार जाएं, आपको अच्छी सीट नहीं देंगे. बट स्टिल मी स्टैंडिंग हेयर, आई विल सल्यूट टू द पीपल ऑफ डेरा गाजी खान. People thought the most remote area, most feudal area governed by the feudals, still people voted for me and they took me as their धीर रानी because my contact was with them was direct. So उन्होंने मुझे धीर रानी कहा, उन्होंने मुझे जितवा दिया. What has happened to Lahore people who 31% of the total Punjab budget is spent in Lahore? लाहौर से क्यों नहीं खातून अभी तक जीत के आई? एंड आई डोंट से कि आप सिर्फ डॉक्टर यास्मीन राशिद को जितवाएं, आप किसी भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी की खातून को जिताएं. एंड द लिटरेसी रेट ऑफ लाहौर इज 82.5% बाई अल फिलान. So the people in Lahore not accepting women as to be their elected parliamentarian, not voting for them and sending them to the parliament because they think somewhere she is weak. आप उसको वो नहीं कर रहे हैं, वोट नहीं करे. बट अ पीपल इन डेरा गाजी खान हु इज़ द लोएस्ट इन द पंजाब, पॉवर्टी उसमें के अंदर भी और उसके अंदर भी एजुकेशन रैंकिंग में भी इट्स इन द लोएस्ट इन द पंजाब डिस्ट्रिक्ट, स्टिल दे वोटेड फॉर अ लेडी. So it means there is a potential in this people. There is a potential in the society. We have not exercised it. So when you come to the parliament, when I entered the parliament, a person who is standing on the parliament, वो जो दरबान होता है या जिसकी ड्यूटी होती है, उसने मुझे कहा बेटा आप गलती से अंदर जा रही है, आपने गैलरी की तरफ जाना है। मैं कहा नहीं जी अंकल, मैं तो गलती से इलेक्ट होके आ गई हूँ, मैंने पार्लियामेंट के अंदर जाना है। द थॉट कि कोई आ गई है। सो मैं पार्लियामेंट में चली गई। अब जब हम पार्लियामेंट में चले गए तो इट स्टार्टेड and there are good speakers who give opportunity to every person where people talk, but I expect a lot कि जब कोई भी खातून, चाहे वो हमारी पार्टी से हो, चाहे वो अपोजिशन से हो, चाहे गवर्नमेंट बेंचेस से हो, when she wants to talk, let her talk. When you give a long time to political big leaders in the parliament, there should be time कि आप ख़वातीन को भी वहाँ पे टाइम दें, because they mean business. They are there to promote and they are there to represent their area. So when you come to the ministry के अंदर भी, when I was conducting my first meeting, my secretary said to me कि आपकी उम्र मेरी बेटियों की तरह है. I really respect कि मेरी उम्र आपकी बेटियों की तरह है, but the thing is I am your minister. That's how their chachas, mamas in the society behave with you. या तो आपको बिल्कुल सीरियस नहीं लेंगे, या अगर आप सीरियस लेंगे तो फिर आप बहुत छोटी हो जाएंगी, इसका मतलब ये होगा किसी तरीके से. बट द थिंग इज़ कि वी हैव टू मेक अ स्पेस. ख़वातीन में बहुत पोटेंशियल है, ख़वातीन में बहुत मैं समझती हूँ कि हमारे मुल्क में वी शुड टॉक अबाउट डिफरेंट थिंग्स रादर देन द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन द लिबरल एंड द कंजर्वेटिव. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. हमारी मुल्क के अंदर मोहतरमा फ़ातिमा जीना, शी इज़ आर रोल मॉडल. उन्होंने कायद आज़म रहमतुल्लाह अलैह के इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ पाकिस्तान में जो है वो उसका हिस्सा थी. आप मोहतरमा फ़ातिमा जिन्ना की जगह को ख़त्म नहीं कर सकते हैं. आप वापस आते हैं तो बेनज़ीर भुट्टो वाज योर प्राइम मिनिस्टर. यू हैड अ फर्स्ट वो स्पीकर of the assembly. You have ministers in the assembly. Parliamentary secretaries are from the ministry in the parliament. So हमारे यहाँ your fighter pilots are in Pakistan. You had the youngest Microsoft engineer from Pakistan. You have जिसको आप कह सकते हैं कि कोई ऐसी फील्ड नहीं है जिसमें पाकिस्तान में ख़वातीन का नाम रोशन किया. So there are opportunities, but there is a set of mind. और set of mind में यही है कि आपने एक्सेप्ट करना है ख़वातीन को. और देयर इज़ नो फाइट बिटवीन मैन एंड वुमेन, देयर इज़ इक्वालिटी. ये सिर्फ एग्जिस्ट, ये नहीं है कि हम व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट योर राइट्स, आपको इनहेरिटेंस के राइट्स मिलने चाहिए. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट इनहेरिटेंस की कितने % ख़वातीन को इनहेरिटेंस के राइट मिलते हैं. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट फोर्स्ड मैरिजेस, कितनी ख़वातीन की या बच्चों की ज़बरदस्ती शादियाँ कर जाती हैं. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट कारोकारी, कि आप क्यों किसी को अपने डिसीजन के ऊपर कत्ल कर देते हैं. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट के कितने ख़वातीन को जो है आप जॉब्स के अपॉर्चुनिटी देते हैं. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट विमेन एजुकेशन, child education especially. At least I can say in my ministry that I have worked with UNICEF. 30,000 school we have launched throughout Punjab and Pakistan, जिसमें हम लोग 26% बच्चों के स्कूल के ड्रॉप आउट पे वी आर वर्किंग ऑन अ गर्ल्स फ्रेंडली स्कूल. मिनिस्टर ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज, वी वांट के जो 1.5 करोड़ बच्चियाँ स्कूलों से बाहर हैं उसमें रेशो जो है वो बच्चों की ज़्यादा है, जिसमें बच्चों को गर्ल फ्रेंड जो स्कूल है वो फ्रेंडली नहीं मिलते हैं. तो हम उनके ऊपर एटलीस्ट काम करें. एटलीस्ट आई हैव स्टार्टेड दिस इनिशिएटिव कि एटलीस्ट वी कैन ब्रिंग एज मेनी एज गर्ल when they are into their puberty or adolescence, so they can adjust be into those school where there is no one to help them. At least we can help them. So 30,000 school we have started, girl-friendly school with the Ministry of Climate Change and UNICEF. I'm thankful to them. In water aid जो उन्होंने हमारे साथ इसके ऊपर काम किया है. Then again is that I worked with my ministry has worked on the energy efficient stove. We are going to launch it inshallah I think in April in 12 districts, sensitized with the women especially. उनकी health, eyesight और lungs infection को बचाने के लिए Ministry of Climate Change is going to give them energy efficient stove. Prime Minister inshallah will inaugurate it. कि अगर एटलीस्ट हम इतनी ख़वातीन को कि वो हर रोज़ जो उनकी आंखों में और लंग्स में और उसमें धुआं जाता है, अगर हम मिनिस्टर ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज उनको कोई ऐसी एनर्जी एफिशिएंट स्टोव दे दें जहाँ पे लकड़ी जलाने के अलावा और कोई चारा नहीं है, लेकिन एटलीस्ट उनकी हेल्थ मुतासर ना हो जाए. So we are working on that inshallah. There are many other programs, especially wash. Special component is for the girls, sanitation के लिए और hygiene के लिए, and 15% for the youth and women especially. हम लोगों ने बिलियन टू सुनामी में ख़वातीन के लिए और यंगस्टर्स के लिए हम लोगों ने 15% हिस्सा लिया है कि हम उनको एटलीस्ट वो दे सकें कि वो अपने हिस्से की अगर नर्सरी लगाएं तो हम उनसे मिनिस्टर ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज या गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान उनसे ख़रीदेगी और हम उनके लिए बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी, हमने बिलियन ट्री सुनामी के अंदर भी हमने 15% स्पेशली हमने वीमेन के लिए और यूथ के लिए रखा हुआ है. दैट्स व्हाट वी कैन डू. और नेक्स्ट वी आर गोइंग टू डू अ लॉट इज जस्ट बिकॉज me being as a Zartaj Gul is enough for me to have a credit from tribal area of Waziristan, Pakistan में, और मैं वज़ीर मज़े ट्राइब से making it up to the parliament is more than enough for me. I do not have very very big dreams. For me sitting on a sand dunes और एक चिप्स का पैकेट खा के और एक बेर के दरख्त के नीचे बैठ के, कीकर के दरख्त के नीचे बैठ के और एक कोई अच्छी सी ड्रिंक पी के, मेरे लिए ये बहुत बड़ी बात है कि मैं कोक और पेप्सी पीऊँ. और मेरे लिए इससे बड़ा ड्रीम कोई नहीं है दैट आई मेड इट टू इस्लामाबाद एंड टू द पार्लियामेंट. बट येस, पीपल शुड, एंड आई एम अ डे ड्रीमर. मैं जागती आंखों से ख्वाब देखती हूँ और मुझे बड़ी उसके ऊपर खुशी होती है. अल्लाह ताला अक्सर पूरे भी कर देता होता है. सो विमेन, आई अगेन टू से टू माई पोलिटिकल राइवल इन डेरा गाजी खान कि नो मैटर व्हाट यू डू, नो मैटर व्हाट यू से, मुझसे लड़ सकते हो लेकिन मेरी तकदीर से नहीं लड़ सकते हो. मेरी तकदीर में अल्लाह ताला ने लिखा है कि मैं डेरा गाजी खान में फिडल को लड़ाऊंगी, हराऊंगी और बार बार इंशाल्लाह हराऊंगी. बिकॉज इट्स नॉट फॉर मी एज अ करियर कि जी आई वांटेड टू बिकम अ पार्लियामेंटेरियन. ये मेरे लिए एक ख्वाब है, ये मेरे लिए एक ड्रीम है कि कल को और बहुत सारी कबायली इलाका से और साउथ पंजाब से और डेरा गाजी खान से लड़के आएंगी. बट आई कैन नॉट मेक अ मिस्टेक्स. वी हैव अ ह्यूज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, दोज वुमेन स्पेशली हु आर ऑन एनी गुड पोजिशन, किसी अच्छे ऑफिस में हैं. हम एक गलती करेंगे तो आने वाली बहुत सारी यंगस्टर्स ख़वातीन के लिए वो रास्ता रुक जाएगा. अगर हम अच्छी मिसाल, गुड एग्जाम्पल, बीइंग अ सक्सेसफुल रोल मॉडल हम पेश करेंगे तो घरों से बहुत सारी बच्चों के लिए लोग उनको अपने घरों से भेजेंगे कि येस यू हैव अ करियर. And for me, that was an achievement when I met some people in Dera Ghazi Khan. They says me that we have named our daughter as Zartaj Gul. मेरा ख्याल में मेरा हक अदा हो गया. अल्लाह ताला ने मुझे इतनी इज़्ज़त दे दी जिसकी कोई हद नहीं है. सो प्लीज़ रिस्पेक्ट वुमेन. प्लीज़, अगर आप स्टिग्मेटाइज करते हैं किसी खातून को, आप किसी खातून को टॉर्चर करते हैं, उसके बारे में गलत बात करते हैं, जस्ट रिमेंबर आपको भी किसी खातून ने पैदा की है, आपकी भी कोई बहन है, आपकी भी कोई बेटी है. तो किसी के ऊपर टॉर्चर करने से पहले या कोई बात करने से पहले अपने घर की बहनों बेटियों को ज़रूर उसमें रखें. थैंक यू SDPI, थैंक यू पैनलिस्ट, एंड थैंक यू मीडिया. लेट्स प्रमोट एंड लेट्स रिस्पेक्ट वुमेन. थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू.
Thank you, Zartaj. She made a very iconic and ironic statement at the same time. A man's actions are seen as a man's actions, but a woman's action will determine the fate of the women who are coming after her or who want to be something in their lives. Sure. Thank you so much.
Sorry,
Thank you for
I have
coming.
to go. It's not good to leave this. I wish that I could listen to all these people, to Romina and her and everyone and Excellency. But I'm sure Mariam will send me the video. Thank you जी, बहुत शुक्रिया. Thanks, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Romina has joined us as well. If you would come. And as I said that a women's actions will determine the fate of many women in the future. Climate change is one phenomena which affects a lot of the people in the world right now, and most of its the prime effectees of many disasters are women and children. Yet they have a very little stake in the decision-making process, and they don't really are a part of the process where decisions are taken regarding conservation of climate. And Mariam is one of those people who have actually made her name in the arena. So I'd like her to tell us how do she see herself changing this for people, for the generations to come.
Thank you, Aisha. Rather than telling about myself that how I came up to this level, which is of course not the end, but I'll share some of the facts around climate change, that how actually climate change is impacting women and girls in Pakistan and around the world. Climate change. Pakistan is ranked 151 out of 153 in Global Gender Index Report 2020, published by World Economic Forum, which is not really a good number. I think it was Yemen and Iraq after us. So we really need to improve a lot. Climate change has direct and indirect impact on women and girls. Um, Among direct impacts, it has heat waves, floods, droughts, cold waves. It really impacts women because they usually have weak physique, or they have health issues, or mostly these climatic events impact women who mainly lives in rural areas and who is not economically so strong and who do not have adaptive measures to take. Research have shown that 141 countries, which also includes, of course, developing countries, shows that women die early, girls die early because of these natural disasters, and life expectancy of girl decreases due to these phenomena because there are no adaptive or mitigative measures for them. And then death rates due to heat waves is also a lot. And I'll share figure from European side because it's not really a developed world which is impacting women in these countries, but also developed world. From European heat waves, majority of the women who died in 2003 were girls and women, either elderly or young or middle age, not men. And floods of multiple years in Pakistan, number shows that in 1973, 947 pregnant women were affected due to floods directly, and they either have medical camps problems, or they didn't have a lady attendant or doctor to attend them, or they didn't have enough sufficient food supplements for them during that period. And in 1988, 1,125 pregnant women were affected by floods. And in 2010 floods, which was mega flood in Pakistan, around 133,000 women were impacted, and those were pregnant, of course. These climatic events also affects decision making, mainly in rural areas. Research shows that disasters do impact decision making, and these decisions are mainly taken by their mothers and fathers or brothers, because women who belong to rural areas are not so economically so powerful, so they have to depend on their male counterparts. So in 2009 to 2010 floods, 10.7% of females of the age of 15 to 19 years got married. And you can well imagine that a girl who will marry from 15 to 29 years of age will impact her health and what kind of baby she will produce. Among indirect impacts which climate change do have on women are that it makes women more vulnerable, and it, of course, in my one of the recent research, which when I went to Mithi, due to droughts, women don't really have a say in family planning, because that is entirely dependent on their male counterparts, because their husbands don't want to listen to them. So there is this dire need of women and girls and wives, of course, to be taken into consideration while planning their family. And I think I'm going to say a very controversial slogan here, Mera Jism Meri Marzi. It does talk about your consent in marriage, and of course against rape, and of course it does talk about decision making as well when it comes to family planning. So it has I know this slogan has divided this society a lot, but it is only up to the receiving end that what kind of meaning you want to take out of it. So I think there is need to also address during counseling during floods and heat waves and such events. It causes a lot of depression among females during floods and heat waves and such climatic events. And 22 girls during August 2010 floods committed suicide because of societal pressures, and they couldn't manage that how they will live and where they should live, and because they have lost homes and hometown. So it really have multiple and varied impact on women. I think need of the hour is that we should really do capacity building. not only for women, but also we need to make it inclusive. We see in Pakistan that women's life are made miserable by their male parts as well, mostly. I'm not blaming everyone, but in rural areas and through research, women don't really have a say. So we really need to take both men and women to educate for their equal and inclusive rights. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam. There are problems faced by women, and then I'm not underestimating anyone's struggles, but then there are problems faced by transgender women. They're far bigger. So I'd want Aisha Mughal to come and tell us how she thinks her examples like her can change the perceptions at any level and make life easier for transgender women all over.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Worthy panelists, ladies, gentlemen, and all the genders. Assalamu alaikum. I would like to thank STPI for inviting me, and I feel really privileged to represent the minority women of my country and around the globe. It took us many years to stand here and be part of the mainstream society. बहुत साल लग गए और I think today we are celebrating the International Women's Day, and we all are here to acknowledge and appreciate the efforts of women who have broken the negative stereotypes and who have made possible, to become part of the mainstream society. Since I'm representing the transgender women in country, we know that since the inception of Pakistan, the transgender community were marginalized, and even till date, we have many issues. Even today, we face the problem of social acceptance and the problem of family acceptance. And as I said, we see this change in the recent years, that now the transgender community are being made part of such distinguished panels, and we are made part of the mainstream society. And now we see transgender women working in different organizations. But it was a very long journey. And today I would like to appreciate and acknowledge the efforts of my seniors, the transgender activists and community members who have fought for decades to gain this acceptance. And I'm really happy that today in Pakistan we have the Transgender Protection Act, which was passed 2 years back in May 2018. And this act has made Pakistan one of the progressive countries in the world, which gives the transgender community the right of self-identification. Because we all know कि जो शनाख्त की जंग सबसे important जंग है. The right of, the fight for your identification is the most important thing. And being a transgender person, I can understand that. And I stand in solidarity with all those women who have, struggled a lot in their lives and in their own areas to prove themselves. It was an honor to listen to the climate minister, Mr. Tajgul, that how she comes from, a backward area. And we do see that even today in society, women are looked down upon. We do not see, there is still glass ceiling. We do not see women as the head of organizations, at the head of departments. But I feel really honored that I work with the Ministry of Human Rights. Our minister, Dr. Shini Mazari, is a woman. Our federal secretary, Ms. Rabi Javeri Agha, is a woman. And when you work with them, when we give them space, we see that women can be as competent as men. And when we talk about transgender people, I'm not here to gain sympathies. I'm here to claim my space and make everyone realize that transgender women are as competent as any other gender is, because your competency, your skills, your knowledge, your hard work does not depend on your gender. Everyone has different challenges, but we need to find solutions. Because when I was studying, I have done my MPhil, and when I was studying, I was bullied. When I used to enter my classroom, my classmates used to make fun of me. But I was determined that I have to make a difference, because I need to have status and stature in society, I need to be respectable, and for that I have to complete my education. And I strongly believe and advocate for the right of education, because education is power. Because when we have education, we can become a productive citizen of the country. But now, when I stand here, my aim is to create an enabling environment for the next generation of transgender community. As Ms. Zartajgul said, we need to create safe environment for women. We need to create opportunities, equal opportunities of the resources for women and for all the genders. And that is, I think, the true essence of celebration of the International Women's Day and the Aurat March. And as the slogan has divided the nation, Mayor Jisam Meri Marzi, it only talks about the right of choice and the right to access the basic resources that are available. I think being a transgender person, I can relate to the struggles of women, because we do face harassment, we do face bullying. औरतों के लिए होती है, लेकिन I think जो transgender women है हमारी थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा होती है, because we have more challenges. Women, at least they do have, thank you, the support from their families, and they do have kind of social acceptance. But even today, transgender women, they do not have the support from their families. बहुत कम घर वाले होंगे जो ये फ़ख्र से बता सकते होंगे कि उनकी जो औलाद है वो मर्द और औरत के साथ साथ कोई ख्वाजा या ट्रांसजेंडर भी है. So we have to change that perception. We need to accept the diversity, and we have to accept all the genders. So I think the main focus of Aurat March and the International Women's Day is to create a safe environment for women and for trans also. Because हमें इस तरह के जो environment होता है जहाँ पर हम बात कर रहे हैं rights की, and where everybody is sensitized towards rights, and I think most of us over here would be feminist. But when we go out of this building and we go out in the market, we do not get that kind of acceptance. Even today, for being a transgender woman, there are stereotypes. People always question your ability. People always question your skills. And when this year I got the honor to represent the government of Pakistan at the UN CEDAW committee. And let me tell you, Pakistani government has become the first government in the world who has taken a transgender woman in the official delegation at UN. Yeah, we deserve a clap, I think. But with all these positive changes happening at the policy level, at the government level, we want to see the social change. Because aaj bhi, when a transgender person walks down the road, she is looked down upon. People, do not realize that a transgender person can also work. Transgender person can also be as competent as another person is. And I think same kind of stereotypes is also being faced by women. Just how we see that we have only 8 or 10 parliamentarians who have been elected in the parliament, because the major cause is that even today people think that women cannot be competent enough as their male counterparts. So I think we have to change this perception today, and we need to create safe environment for all the genders, so that when a woman can, go out, she does not need somebody to accompany her. हमारे मुल्क में ऐसा माहौल होना चाहिए कि औरत जो है अकेले बाजार जा सके. Because this was the discussion happening on social media since this Aurat March is going to take place, and many of my male friends, started telling me that in Pakistan, women has huge respect. हम लोग seat छोड़ देते हैं औरतों के लिए, which is also, I think, a good culture that we have. But even today in Pakistan, अकेली औरत जो है वो पिंडी में राजा बाजार भी नहीं जा सकती. और यही चीज़ today, yesterday I was discussing this, this discussion with my assistant who wears an abaya, and I asked her, do you face this problem? Because men think that if a woman is covered and she's wearing an abaya, she is safe. And she told me कि मैडम आप बाजार जाने की बात करिए, हम तो बस स्टॉप पे जाते खड़े नहीं हो सकते. So I think men should respect women, and we need to teach our sons that they have to respect women. And a woman is respectable अगर वो किसी की बहन बेटी माँ नहीं भी है, तब भी औरत जो है वो इज़्ज़त के काबिल है. और इसी तरीके से every gender is respectable, and trans women also deserve the same dignity and respect as men and women. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aisha. We have Ms. Rumina here, and She has an extensive experience of working with the parliament, and she is a political activist as well. She's worked closely with the Baitul Mal as their ambassador for women vocational training. So I'd want to ask her if her experiences in the parliament and her experience with the vocational training of women, does that let any hope for you? Do you think that things are actually changing for women, and there would be a time where the world of work would not be as horrific for them as it was until now or is right now?
Sorry. Well, Assalamu alaikum and very good evening to ladies and gentlemen, my people panelists and sitting over here. And first of all, very good evening. And once again, I'm thankful to the SDPI, Dr. Abid Suleri and all the team, all the people who are sitting around. Well, while I was sitting here and listening so many things as being, sorry? Okay. While sitting over there and listening to all the ladies, and I was just going through with all the history of my life, like from the childhood till now, as being Rumina Khurshid Alam, member of a parliament, and wearing a cap with so many feathers and a chip on the shoulders. But still, I was thinking, प्लीज़ शायद मेरी राय से बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं, maybe few people they don't agree with me, but I think everybody is having a right to say what we feel like. So today, as being Rumina Khurshid Alam, member of a parliament, no matter from which party, of course, right now everybody knows that I'm from the opposition, but I believe this country. I was just sharing a thought with Mariam that today, after going through from so many being from so many countries, today the perspective of a woman of Pakistan in my mind has changed. I believe, like few months back, I've been to United States of America, and over there, I feel so privileged. I feel so honored. The woman of Pakistan is more successful. The number of the women in the parliament is more. The number of the women who are working in the bureaucracy, in the army, in which field we are talking, not the woman is there. So woman is there. Every woman is, like in every department we are having, and in fact, I don't say that everything is bling bling, everything is crystal clear, everything is very fair. Yes, there are few differences. Yes, there are so many issues still we are facing, but trust me, we are far better. Still we do respect. हमारे यहाँ जब सोशल मीडिया के ऊपर अगर किसी औरत की ज़रा सी तज़लील होती है जो कि गलत और भयानक है, तो उसके ऊपर बहुत सारी आवाज़ें भी उठाई जाती हैं. बहुत सारी बातों पे इस चीज़ का एहसास दिलाया जाता है कि हम गलत हैं, और उस शख्स की जो फिर दुर्गत होती है वो तो फिर हमने देख ही लिया कि एक मर्ज़ी के ऊपर जो बात हुई और फिर वो मर्ज़ी कहाँ से कहाँ गई. बट सी, दिस इज़ ऑल्सो समथिंग विच वी आर स्टार्टिंग, लाइक वी स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट. हम बात करना शुरू हुए हैं, हम बात को समझते हैं. औरत मार्च आज का नहीं, औरत मार्च तो कई सदियों से चला आ रहा है और बहुत सारे ऐसे डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज़ में से चला आ रहा है. मैं बहुत वेलकम करती हूँ आयशा आपको, लेकिन एक चीज़ मैं आपको और आपके उसमें इजाफा करती चलूँ, आपको बताती चलूँ कि लास्ट टाइम पाकिस्तान की, ये पूरी दुनिया में पाकिस्तान की जो गवर्नमेंट या तारीख़ में पहली दफ़ा एक ट्रांसजेंडर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स अवार्ड भी दिया गया था, विच इज़ FDI, उनको दिया गया. बात हम यहाँ पर एक दूसरे की, आपने जेंडर इक्वलिटी की बात की और जो कि हमारा स्लोगन भी है, ईच फॉर इक्वल. फ़र्क देखना ये है कि अल्लाह ने तो हम सबको एक जैसा पैदा किया है. हमारी एक्सेप्टेंस, social acceptance. Today, I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk about, I don't believe in this to talk about me or my. It's a time to talk about we. It's time about to talk about gender equality. When we are talking about gender equality, then we need to talk about the social cohesions. Need to accept each other. क्या हम एक दूसरे को accept कर पाते हैं? क्या वो मर्दों में भी हो सकता है, वो औरतों में भी हो सकता है, वो ट्रांस में भी definitely हो सकता है. और इस चीज़ को we cannot put a pressure on only on the civil societies. No doubt SDPI always, they are one of the organization for me. I always took my mother home, where I feel like that I can come and I can do anything over here. I feel like a doer over here कि कुछ भी करना है तो सितारों से आगे जहाँ, और वो यहाँ पर आके मैं कुछ भी कर लूँगी, and we can develop anything. But same like what? The environment. the acceptance, how we believe in each other. दैट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. हम लोग पार्लियामेंट की बात करते हैं, मैं समझती हूँ पाकिस्तान की पार्लियामेंट में इस टाइम मोर देन लाइक अगर थोड़ा एग्जैजरेट ना हो जाए तो आई थिंक 70 अबव प्लस जो बिजनेस है हाउस का वो औरत चला रही हैं. द बेस्ट जरताज ने भी डेफिनेटली बात की, भी पाकिस्तान वो खुश नसीब मुल्कों में से है जहाँ पे इस्लामी ममालिक की पहली खातून प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो है वो मुंतखब हुई. और आज अगर हम वेस्ट की तरफ देखते हैं, जहाँ पर हम वेस्ट की तरफ उंगली उठाते हैं, बात करते हैं, तो वहाँ तो आज भी या हम उनको अपना सोशल आइकॉन या उनसे बड़े मुतासर होते हैं. तो आई एम सो सॉरी टू से स्टिल ट्रंप और हिलरी के बीच में उस सो कॉल्ड डेवलप्ड माशरे ने किसको एक्सेप्ट किया, जिसका खमियाजा पूरी दुनिया भुगत रही है. खुद शायद सो कॉल्ड कन्फ्यूज्ड अमेरिकन्स भी भुगत रहे हैं. बट येस, दिस इज़ द रियलिटी. वी कैन नॉट, आई थिंक हम अपनी आंखें से चुरा नहीं सकते. एंड अनदर थिंग, आई बिलीव दैट वी डोंट नीड ओनली टू फोकस ओनली ऑन, वी कैन नॉट पुट द प्रेशर ऑन द पॉलिटिशियन, वी कैन नॉट पुट द प्रेशर ऑन द मीडिया, वी कैन नॉट पुट द प्रेशर ऑन द सिविल सोसाइटी. वी नीड टू पुट द प्रेशर ऑन द masses. We need to educate them, we need to put pressure on them that they have to preach in the right way, which from like which we have all the belief we are having. We are living in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, where the state and the law of the country and then the religion of this state, what that religion is saying, to give the respect. हम बात आज करते हैं, नो डाउट हम बहुत सारी मिसालें देते हैं, लेकिन हम क्यों भूल जाते हैं कि हम जिस मुल्क में रहते हैं और उस वहाँ पर जो राय जो डेफिनेटली इस्लामिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ पाकिस्तान में इस्लाम हमें क्या तरबियत देता है. वहाँ पर जहाँ पर हम बात करते हैं, वहाँ पर आज़ सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की अगर ज़िंदगी में देखा जाए तो हज़रत खतीजा रज़ी अल्लाह अन्हा का किरदार, बीबी ज़ैनब अलैहिस्सलाम का किरदार, बीबी फ़ातिमा अलैहिस्सलाम का किरदार, लाइक दे वर आल्सो द वॉरियर्स. So why like now what the big difference is coming? So I believe it's not the difference only coming from the here or there, it's the society. हम शायद अपनी इक़दार खो बैठे हैं. हम शायद बहुत सारी जगहों के चीज़ों को लेके कंफ्यूज होते जा रहे हैं. एंड देन वी आर जस्ट थिंकिंग ओवर कि शायद हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं. मेरे ख्याल में अगर हम थोड़ा सा जो है वो गौर अपने माजी में कर लें, अपनी इक़दार में कर लें, अपने माशरे की तरफ देखें, तो चीज़ें खुद ब खुद ठीक होती हैं. रिसेंटली आई जस्ट वांट टू नॉट फॉर द बेटरमेंट और कोई खुशी या वो कोई वो क्या कहना चाहिए, किसी से कोई सिंपैथी या क्रेडिट लेने के लिए मैं बात नहीं करूँगी, लेकिन बात यह है कि जब लास्ट टेन्योर में वी वर वर्किंग फॉर द ट्रांसजेंडर कम्युनिटी और विद ऑल प्राइड वी वर सो हैप्पी एंड ग्लैड दैट हम लोगों ने काफ़ी काम किया, जिसका समर 2018 में जो है वो कानून साजी की सूरत में आया. उसमें वी फाउंड फ्यू हीरोज़, अनसंग हीरोज़. और उन अनसंग हीरोज़ में से जैसे आयशा आप हैं, उसी तरह एक हीरो हमें मिली है जिनका नाम माया है. Now again she's in the university she's doing, and she become the dress designer. And then comes the social acceptance. Like my daughter got married and whole she is a family now. She is a favorite of everybody. And then it comes that when with very pride I brought her in front of the stage when my daughter was getting married, and I introduced everyone that she is Maya. So how we accept, कहना बहुत आसान है कि ये इसको एक्सेप्ट कीजिए, गले लगाना, हाथ पकड़ कर चलना, इसको एक्सेप्टेंस कहते हैं, इसको तब्दीली कहा जाता है. वरना तो तब्दीली आती जाती रहती है, लेकिन ये तब्दीली है जब आप हाथ पकड़कर किसी को चलना सिखाते हैं, जब आप हाथ लेकर चलते हैं, जब आप किसी पर तोहमत या गंद लगाने से पहले उस पर्दा तो अल्लाह भी कहता है किसी का रखो, लेकिन जब हम इस किस्म की चीज़ों से ज़रा दूर हो जाते हैं तो फिर बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हैं वो आती हैं. इसके अलावा हरासमेंट की अगर बात हम करें तो मैं यहाँ पर ज़रूर बताना चाहूँगी कि बिकॉज आई हैव अनदर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दैट आई एम द ट्रेजरर ऑफ द वुमेन पार्लियामेंटेरियन कॉकस के फोरम से भी तमाम वो, क्योंकि एक ऐसा फोरम है जिसके ऊपर तमाम तर जमातें जो हैं उनकी ख़वातीन इकट्ठी होती हैं और तमाम इशूज़ को बात की जाती है. तो वहाँ पर वर्क एट हरासमेंट एट द वर्क प्लेस जो है उसके ऊपर भी बहुत काम हो रहा है. डिफरेंट चीज़ें हैं, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम सिर्फ उन चीज़ों को देखना चाहते हैं जो हमें लगता है कि हमें देखनी है. फ्यू थिंग्स विच आर हैपनिंग फॉर द बेस्ट, जो कि पहले भी हुई हैं, अब भी हुई हैं. कानून को देखा जाए तो पाकिस्तान इज़ अ हाईली रिच कंट्री in laws, but unfortunately we are missing the implementation. और implementation किसी ने बाहर से आके नहीं करानी. अगर आज हम में से हर कोई अपनी अपनी राय इस बात पे दे रहा है कि क्या औरत मार्च होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए, क्या ये स्लोगन जो है वो चलना चाहिए या नहीं चलना चाहिए, तो मेरे ख्याल में अगर हम अपनी राय इन तमाम चीज़ों के ऊपर भी देना शुरू करें तो कहीं कोई वजह नहीं कि हम एक सेहतमंद माशरा जो है वो बन सकते हैं. आखिर में एक दो और जो चीज़ें हैं उसके ऊपर पॉपुलेशन के ऊपर भी चूँकि बात उठाएगी, तो मैं यहाँ पे बताना चाहूँगी कि पार्लियामेंट के फोरम से और YPF के फोरम से आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेक ए लीड अलॉन्ग विद द सेनेट. हम लोगों ने आज इस बात को किया कि वी शुड कम अप विद दिस थिंग दैट वी शुड हैव टू एंगेज दोज इस्लामिक कंट्रीज़ जिन्होंने पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल के ऊपर काम किया, जिसमें इंडोनेशिया और इसके अलावा बांग्लादेश जो हैं उन्होंने भी काफ़ी काम किया, और एक दो और कुछ ममालिक हैं, आई एम सॉरी आई एम नॉट हैविंग देयर नेम इन माई माइंड. उन्होंने किस तरह से अपने माशरे को तब्दील किया, किस तरह से उन चीज़ों को किया, तो उस पर वी नीड टू फोकस मोर ऑन. और हेल्दी चीज़ों की तरफ चूँकि पाकिस्तान को लेके आने की ज़रूरत है. क्लाइमेट चेंज पे चूँकि आपने पहले मरियम ने भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा बात कर ली, मैं सिर्फ लास्ट पे जैसे आपने वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग की बात की, तो वो मैंने वॉलंट्री काम किया था उसके ऊपर जो बैतुल माल है. मैं ये ज़रूर कहूँगी कि पाकिस्तान की औरत या वुमेंस डे हो, और पाकिस्तान की औरत वो औरत है, मैंने पूरी दुनिया में देखा है, जहाँ कहीं पे भी मैं जा सकी हूँ, wherever I've been, I found the women of Pakistan with substance, with great passion. She's having the power to do. They are the doers. They don't get scared from anything. We have this potential. अगर आज रुमीना खुर्शीद आलम अकेली यहाँ पर खड़ी, I don't have any political background, I don't have that sort of backup के जहाँ पर कोई as being a single mother, if I can prove to the world, and I don't think so that I need to prove you all what I am today. I need to prove myself. When we listen to ourselves, हमें ख़ुद को सुनने की ज़रूरत है कि हम क्या चाहते हैं. कब तक हम गलत को गलत नहीं कहेंगे, हम कब तक गलत के आगे सर झुकाते जाएंगे. तो जब आप गलत के आगे सर झुकाते जाएंगे तो गलत आपको यूं ही मैश करता जाएगा. सिर्फ ज़रूरत इस बात की है कि आप चाहते क्या हैं, और अल्लाह बारी ताला ने हम सबको रास्ता दिया हुआ है, अकल और दानिश दी है, इसीलिए हम अशरफुल मखलूक़ात हैं. इज़्ज़त अगर हम अपनी माँ की नहीं कर सकते तो हम किसी और औरत की भी नहीं कर सकते. और अगर हम इज़्ज़त, क्योंकि मैं यहाँ पर माजरत के साथ मैं ये नहीं कहूँगी कि औरत इक्वल है, औरत अफजल बनाई गई है क्योंकि उसके पैरों तले जन्नत है. अब अच्छा बुरा कौन है ये तो रब जानता है, क्योंकि जजमेंट करने का मेरे पास कोई तराजू नहीं है, ना हक है. लेकिन मैं ये समझती हूँ कि जब हमें, बहुत अच्छा इन्होंने कहा कि अगर हम अपने बेटों को, अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारी बेटियों की इज़्ज़त हो, बेटियों को कोई प्यार करे, तो अपने बेटों की भी तरबियत उस अंदाज में कीजिए, और अपनी बहू को, आने वाले जो माशरा है वो इन्हीं से बनता है. विद दिस नोट, थैंक यू सो वेरी मच, गॉड ब्लेस यू. औरत हमेशा से काबिल एहतराम थी क्योंकि उसको रब ने इज़्ज़त दी है. इज़्ज़त एक दूसरे की करना सीखें, खुद ही औरत की इज़्ज़त हो जाएगी. शुक्रिया.
Thank you, Rumina. We have Her Excellency Ms. Wendy Gilmer here. Wendy has a brilliant professional background and she comes from a developed society, but she has worked in underdeveloped countries. I would want to know, how does she view the situation in countries like ours for women?
Thank you very much. And things are going to fall off. Certainly my pleasure to be here today, and I am so privileged to join such an accomplished panel. I need to work on my Urdu so that I can understand everything that's being said, but that's part of my education being here in Pakistan. March 8th is International Women's Day. It is celebrated and it is marked around the world to give us an opportunity for one day out of the year to really focus on what it is that we as a society, global societies, require in order to ensure that women have the opportunities that they need to fulfill their ambitions and to take their place rightfully alongside that of men and all genders. Here in Pakistan, it's been fascinating for me to watch the debate leading up to March the 8th, to watch the incredibly vibrant and dedicated young women who are putting their safety on a line to march on Sunday to make sure that this society also pays attention to these issues. Marches are, by their very nature, sometimes controversial. People don't have to agree with everything that's going to be said. But what I think first and foremost, and I think we heard from all of our panelists, from the minister that started off to, is that we have to respect that people are going to have their voice, and we have to give people an opportunity to hear. So I, for one, will be very much looking forward to watching what happens on Sunday and hope that these young women will have an opportunity to express their views in a safe and secure manner. But I think, I was asked to come and speak a little bit about my own experience. I'm very much like my colleagues on the panel. I'm a little bit reluctant always to talk about mine. I'm much happier talking about things in general. But I will say a little bit about myself and about Canada, about my reflexes. I'm really very lucky. I am in such a privileged position. Not only am I Canadian, I was born in the 1960s when the women's movement was just getting the fire under it, and that women trailblazers who had come before me meant that I had the ability to apply for Canada's Foreign Service. I actually started off in Canada's Armed Forces. I started off in uniform as a soldier. I had the opportunity to do that. I couldn't, at the time, in the 1980s, fulfill my ambition for a career in the Canadian Forces because women in Canada at that point were very constrained in what jobs they could do. So I made the decision to go elsewhere. But the same time that I was joining the Foreign Service, Canada's Charter of Rights and Freedoms gave the opportunity for women to then appeal to our Supreme Court at the time to have access to all of the jobs open in our armed forces. So at this particular moment in time, there are no restrictions on women in Canada for any career in the armed forces, whether it's from an infantry soldier through to serving on a submarine. Other countries are following suit. I'm so incredibly impressed whenever I meet women in the Pakistan context who have, against many different obstacles, found themselves the opportunity to have a career in the armed forces. I'm equally impressed when I meet women politicians and women in all walks of life, whether it's in academia or in business or elsewhere, that have been able to find their path to fulfill their ambitions. And I tend to think that it's our responsibility, people like me in my 50s, my cohort and others, that our job is to make sure that we're leaving our workplaces, our broader environment, even more accessible to the people that come behind us. And I am very conscious that, in Canada, we're very privileged. In Pakistan, there is still a lot of obstacles, but there is a privileged class who have access to money and to education. There are a lot of women in Pakistan and elsewhere around the world who don't have those opportunities, who may come from very traditional households, who may not have the economic ability to access education and other opportunities. And so that's where we really have to focus our attention. There was a trailblazer in the Canadian context. Her name was Charlotte Whitten. She was the first mayor of a major Canadian city. She was in Ottawa, and it was in the 1950s. And she had a very both famous and favorite saying. She used to say, for a woman to be successful, you had to be twice as good as a man. But fortunately, it's not difficult. So I think we all have to remember, if we try hard enough, if we find, our mentors and our supporters, it is possible to achieve great things. But I'd say a few words about sort of what, I have a platform, what Canada is doing here in Pakistan, our perception of some of the challenges as outsiders that we are perceiving in Pakistan society. I mean, of course, there are tremendous income, economic disparities here. And in particular, in rural communities where schooling may not be as accessible, either by virtue of geographic location or because there might not be women-specific schools, girls-specific schools, I think it's our responsibility as an international donor community to help the government of Pakistan provide those services. So one of Canada's flagship programs here, we have, as part of a global effort, the G7 group of countries decided that they would invest in girls' education, is that we are working with the government of Pakistan in particular to provide girls' schooling, both teachers, physical premises, and the safety to get there for girls in the newly merged territories of the erstwhile FATA is the expression that's used. These are areas in which girls' schools have not been present or have been destroyed over the years of the insurgency. So we're making an investment in support of the government of Pakistan to make sure that girls in these regions can go to school and can find their path to parliament, to academia, and whatever they choose to be. We have two programs that we're quite excited by. Every program in the development community has to have a name. One is Women's Voice and Leadership. The other one is Women's Political Participation, where we're investing in support of both institutions of government and in civil society for women's voice and leadership to make sure that women's grassroots organizations are in a position to advocate for their rights and for their access to resources. This is something we've learned over time, and I'm so pleased that Shoaib Sultan is with us today. Canada, as a development partner, has learned from activities here in Pakistan that you are only successful if the impetus for development comes from the community itself. We've worked for many, many years up in the northern regions in support of the Aga Khan, the Rural Development Program, which really had as its core the empowerment of community organizations to advocate for their own needs and to participate in their own development. And that's a big part of what our Women's Voice and Leadership program is designed to do. And it's learning from the women's organizations in very remote and rural communities, these women who got together and were in a position to say, here are our priorities. This is the type of labor and engagement that we're going to put up in support of them. Now, government, development partners and others, how are you going to help us meet our objectives? It's the most critical part of development, and it speaks to the need for women to have a voice in establishing the priorities of their own communities. We're also, I think, and very important, and was mentioned by a couple of our speakers today, including Miriam, mentioning the access to healthcare for women, and particularly for young mothers and for women thinking of getting pregnant, to have access to the information and to the healthcare they need to make choices about their own families. And that's a myriad of different things in Pakistan. There is not the number of women that are really required to have the understanding, the access, and the community and family support for breastfeeding for their children. Breastfeeding is so incredibly important. It means that there is appropriate spacing between children. It means healthier children. It really means that society needs to embrace and support and create the facilities to support breastfeeding. It means that we have to get some of the commercial enterprises online so that they are not providing incorrect information with respect to formula as somehow being better than mother's milk. This is an important part of family planning and something that we're going to be helping Pakistani institutions support themselves through Women's Health Network and elsewhere. It's also making sure that girls and boys are given access to the information they need as part of education to be able to make informed choices themselves. Life skills-based education is across the domestic environment. It's about making choices for yourself, for your own future, and making sure that you are doing so in an informed manner. This is so incredibly important, not just in Pakistan, around the world, in Canada. We need to ensure that our young people have the information that they need to make their own choices about when is the best time to have a family, how to manage their family, and to make sure that their families are healthy and safe. So these are the types of things that Canada is doing. Canada thinks should be prioritized in a Pakistan context. I think the other thing I would just say overall is that right at the moment, as I say, I'm really lucky. I'm Canadian. I have a government that has a feminist foreign policy. I have a government that has a feminist international assistance policy. And it isn't just because I'm here as a woman ambassador or high commissioner that I'm able to say this. I know for a fact that I've seen my male colleagues who are heads of mission, ambassadors and high commissioners in countries around the world equally promoting a feminist approach to decision making. What that means is at heart is that we are taking into account a gender perspective in all of our policy making and our decision making. When we put a program in place, when the Canadian government makes a decision about a particular policy, we have to think through what is the impact of that policy on gender issues, women and men, and our minority communities, our transgender. In Canada, we have a particular focus. We look at the gay and lesbian community as well as others to make sure that the impact of policies is equally understood and conscious choices can be made. And I have one example that I use fairly often. It's a very Canadian example because it talks about winter and snow. And when the city of Ottawa was making a decision about where to put its resources to clear the snow off roads and to make sure people have access in the winter, traditionally, the focus of snow clearing after a major blizzard had always been clear the roads, get the roads free so that cars can drive on the roads. Well, after a gender analysis, it was done, looked at the workplace and the people that are traveling to work to get to their jobs in the winter. more women than men use public transport. More women than men were walking to work, even in the course of winter. And the fact that the city of Ottawa was promoting you clear the roads first for cars meant that access to bus stations, access on sidewalks, was the secondary thing that was being thought about. And it meant ultimately that women who were disproportionately being impacted by the sidewalk not being cleared were unable to get to work. So having made that conscious decision, a switch was made. All of a sudden, that instead of necessarily getting out on the roads first, the sidewalk plows went out. Access to public transport was ensured. It was also, at the end of the day, good for the environment because it pushed people onto public transport that otherwise would have been taking their cars to work. But it's things that are as simple as that. When we're thinking, we as decision makers in our various government, civil society, activists, when you are pushing for your governments and your decision makers to put in place policies, you need to be thinking about the conscious choices that are being made and how they impact on different communities. And that's one of the fundamental reasons we have Women's Day. It's why we have other days that celebrate both minority and other communities as well. But I think at least for one day of the year, we can use this as the incentive we need to make sure that we're giving conscious thought to the rights of women and girls all of the 365 days of the year. So with that, I will shut up. Thank you very much. A pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Wendy. In our society, they say that women are our honor. We are actually honored by that statement. But just let us define the ways in which we want to honor you. Whether we want to be the mothers of your children and taking care of your homes, or like Wendy or Aisha or Mariam or Romina, we want to fight your wars with you, which will define the future of your children. Thank you, and please help yourself to tea outside. Thank you so much for joining us.